Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into the realities of modern life. Today, we're going to talk about something that might seem counterintuitive in our hyper-connected world. Yes, we're talking about loneliness, the silent shadow that often accompanies our digital lives. Now, you might be watching this video on your phone or laptop, surrounded by notifications, but feeling that odd pang of isolation. Isn't it ironic? Surrounded by the means to connect, yet feeling disconnected? Today, we're peeling back the layers on this modern paradox. We'll explore why, despite having hundreds of friends online, scrolling through endless feeds, and constantly sharing updates, many of us still feel like we're stranded on a digital island. So, grab a comfy seat, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's unravel these threads together. Why are we lonely in an age where connecting with others is just a tap away? Let's find out. Part 1. Understanding loneliness. As we dive into the heart of our topic, let's start with the basics. What exactly is loneliness? It's not just the absence of company. It's an emotional state, a feeling of being disconnected, misunderstood, and apart, even in a crowded room or a busy chat thread. Loneliness is the quiet dinner alone when you wished for company, the silent moments spent scrolling through social media, seeing friends gather without you. It's a whisper of disconnection in a world that shouts connectivity from every rooftop. Now, let's paint a picture with some startling colors. Studies show that over 40% of adults feel lonely at various times in their lives. Imagine that. Nearly half of us wandering through life feeling like an outsider looking in. And in our age of technology, these feelings are amplified, not alleviated. We are more connected than ever before, yet the quality of these connections often lacks depth and warmth. What are the signs that you might be experiencing loneliness? Perhaps it's the restlessness at night, the binge-watching marathons meant to fill silence, or the constant checking of phones for new messages that seldom come. It could be the reluctance to go out, not for lack of invitations, but because it feels like no one truly gets you. Recognizing these signs can be the first step toward healing. Understanding loneliness is critical, not just for finding ways to combat it, but to validate the feelings that come with it. It's okay to acknowledge that, yes, you feel isolated. Yes, you crave deeper connections. This acknowledgement is not a defeat. It's the beginning of understanding your emotional landscape and navigating your way out of the shadows of solitude. So as we move forward, remember this. Loneliness is a common experience. It's part of the human condition. But the good news? It's also a reversible one. Stick with us as we explore how to turn the tide on loneliness and forge connections that are truly fulfilling. Part 2. Causes of loneliness. As we delve deeper into the maze of modern loneliness, let's explore the roots of this silent epidemic. What really causes this pervasive sense of isolation in such a connected world? Firstly, there's our digital dependency. Our lives are entwined with technology in unprecedented ways. We swipe, click, and like, engaging in what feels like social interaction, but often lacks the warmth of human contact. A recent study highlighted that people who spend more than 2 hours a day on social media are twice as likely to feel socially isolated than those who spend less than 30 minutes on these platforms. It's not just the quantity of our interactions, but the quality that truly nourishes our need for connection. Then there's the phenomenon of urban isolation. As cities grow more densely populated, ironically, loneliness has surged. People are physically close, yet socially distant. The hustle of city life can make forming lasting, meaningful connections challenging, often leading to a feeling of being lost in the crowd. The impact of work also can't be overlooked. With more people telecommuting, the once busy office environments buzzing with casual, spontaneous conversations have been replaced by quiet home offices. Though flexible work arrangements have their perks, they sometimes lead to a connection deficit, a lack of casual social interactions that help cement the social fabric of our daily lives. And let's not forget the global upheaval brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. Lockdowns and social distancing have transformed how we interact, making it harder to maintain relationships and easy to feel isolated. The pandemic has acted like a fast-forward button on trends of increasing loneliness, especially among young people, where reports indicate a significant rise in feelings of isolation during this period. Understanding these causes helps us see loneliness not just as a personal failing, but as a complex byproduct of our contemporary lifestyle. This realization opens the door to compassion, both for ourselves and others, and sets the stage for meaningful changes in how we connect with the world around us. Part 3. The impact of loneliness. Now, let's pivot our discussion and examine the ripple effects of loneliness. Instead of just listing out impacts, we'll explore them through real-life scenarios that might just sound a little too familiar. Scenario 1. The sleepless nights. Imagine it's late at night. The world is quiet, but your mind isn't. You toss and turn, replaying social interactions, or worse, the lack thereof. Studies show that loneliness can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to a vicious cycle of nighttime anxiety and daytime fatigue. This isn't just about feeling tired, it's about how chronic insomnia can set the stage for serious health problems like heart disease and diabetes. Scenario 2. The social media mirage. Here's you, scrolling through your feed, seeing pictures of gatherings you weren't invited to, trips you weren't on. It feels like everyone else is living a better story. This constant comparison not only deepens feelings of loneliness, but can also lead to serious mental health issues, such as depression and anxiety. The irony? The tools that are supposed to connect us can sometimes push us further into our own solitary bubbles. Scenario 3. The work-from-home isolation. You're working from home, which once sounded like a dream. Now, the lack of casual coffee breaks and water cooler chats with coworkers makes every workday feel like an echo chamber. Without these light social interactions, the sense of professional isolation can become overwhelming, impacting productivity and job satisfaction. Scenario 4. The health deterioration. Loneliness doesn't just wear down your mental health. It has tangible effects on your physical health. Did you know that the perceived social isolation can be as detrimental to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? Yes, it's that serious. From increased blood pressure to weakened immune systems, loneliness can take a toll on your body that is hard to ignore. Through these scenarios, we see how pervasive and destructive loneliness can be. It's not just a fleeting feeling of sadness. It's a health hazard that needs addressing with the same urgency as any other public health crisis. Understanding these impacts not only drives home the importance of tackling loneliness, but also provides us with the why behind our next steps in fighting it. By using vivid scenarios to illustrate the impacts of loneliness, this section of the script is designed to keep the audience engaged and empathize more deeply with the material. It breaks away from a straightforward expository style, adding dynamic storytelling elements to maintain interest and emotional connection. Part 4. Overcoming loneliness. Having explored the deep impacts of loneliness, let's now switch gears and focus on the most uplifting part of our journey, overcoming it. Here we'll walk through 10 actionable steps to dismantle the barriers of loneliness and rebuild a world of connection. To make this engaging, let's frame these as commitments you can make today to start a new chapter tomorrow. Commitment 1. Seek face-to-face time. Make a promise to yourself to seek out real human interactions. Whether it's a coffee date or a walk in the park, these moments can recharge your social battery in ways digital communication cannot. Commitment 2. Dial down digital. Commit to reducing your screen time. Set boundaries for social media use to free up time for in-person interactions, which are far richer and more fulfilling. Commitment 3. Dive into new activities. Get involved in community activities that align with your interests. Whether it's a painting class, a cooking course, or volunteering, these settings provide natural opportunities to meet new people and foster genuine connections. Commitment 4. Embrace routine social activities. Incorporate regular social activities into your weekly schedule. This could be a book club, a fitness class, or a local meetup. Consistency in attendance not only builds familiarity, but also trust and friendships over time. Commitment 5. Prioritize physical activity. Exercise is not just good for the body, but also for the mind. It can be a great antidote to loneliness, particularly group sports or classes that involve others. Commitment 6. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness and meditation can reduce feelings of loneliness by improving your mental health and emotional resilience. It helps you reconnect with your inner self and gain a clearer perspective on your social needs. Commitment 7. Cultivate solo hobbies. Find joy in solitude by engaging in hobbies that you can do alone. This helps appreciate your own company and shows that being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. Commitment 8. Digital detox. Initiate regular digital detoxes to disconnect from online distractions and reconnect with the physical world. This helps reduce the noise of constant connectivity. Commitment 9. Seek professional guidance. If loneliness feels overwhelming, seeking help from a counselor or therapist can be a game changer. Professional advice can provide strategies tailored to your specific needs. Commitment 10. Establish supportive routines. Create routines that nurture your well-being. From morning meditations to evening journaling, these practices can build a framework for a balanced life that includes ample space for meaningful social interactions. As we conclude, remember that these commitments are not just steps, but milestones on a path to a more connected and fulfilling life. Loneliness is not a life sentence. It's a signal that it's time to make a change. So, take these commitments to heart. Start small if you need to, and gradually build your way to a richer social life. Conclusion. As we wrap up our journey through the landscapes of loneliness and connection, let's reflect on what we've learned and the steps we can take forward. Loneliness, as we've seen, isn't just a personal struggle. It's a societal issue that has grown alongside our digital advancements and urban lifestyles. It's an echo of the need for deeper, more meaningful interactions in a world that often values quantity over quality. But there's good news. The path to overcoming loneliness is paved with simple, actionable commitments that can lead to significant changes in how we live and interact. From reducing our digital footprints to engaging more deeply in our communities, each step is a move towards rebuilding the connected world we long for. I encourage you to start today. Choose one commitment to focus on this week, whether it's meeting a friend face-to-face or joining a new social group. Remember, the smallest actions can spark the biggest changes. Let's not just dream of a more connected world. Let's make it a reality. Thank you for joining me in this important discussion. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone who might also benefit from it. Together, we can break the chains of loneliness and cultivate a culture of connection and community. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more insights into making life better together. Until next time, take care and stay connected.